I heard.
Yeah, he's an up-and-coming Korean player, I want to say.
All right. Closer on Lee Sin. This is something every 100 Thieves fan has been begging for, either Lee Sin or Viego. Those two champions got buffed recently.
Yes.
Those are the two star champions for Closer that got him, finals MVP. So I'm actually very excited to see the Lee Sin lock-in, even if it does mean the Gragas is, more secure in Tenacity's hands there. It's probably now going top.
Right. I like 100 Thieves' game plan so far. Whenever you pick a Caitlyn lane, you're probably going to be playing to it if you want to win.
Yeah.
And so I think this is...
if you want to win. I love the caveat.
Yeah. I mean, this is right up DoubleLift's comfort zone. He likes having the pressure, being played around closer. On his successful runs in 100 Thieves, he was really playing around bot a lot. Yeah. And I love this trio for it. I think it's looking good for them so far.
Final pick is going to be support Kalista for CLG. We've seen Sven run this on Cloud9 previously. It is one of those champions that is very, 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 very different from a lot of other things. The way that you have to work with the movement and the hopping, you got to be able to be practiced on this champion to be effective at it. So I'm curious to see how Varus Kalista is going to play out against Caitlyn.
Oh, we get it.
Pick of the draft. Okay, so it's Gragas mid. Remember, this was featured on your Chef Kobe segment yesterday. You said this was delicious. This was the star of the show. It would steal the meal, and Bjergsen's going to play it here for 100 Thieves. Tenacity on Olaf versus the Sion.
Interesting. I don't know if I like the Olaf here. I think Olaf with Lee Sin kind of makes your team a little bit flimsy as far as CC goes, but obviously T1 has played a lot of comps like this, and if you're mobile, but he's not super mobile. He's got his W, and that's about it.
Just want to point out real quick, I did misspeak back in draft. It is not support Kalista, it is support Varus, with the Kalista being piloted by Luger. So it'll be up to him to kite out that Olaf, while Poome's job is just going to be to rain in those arrows. You can see Hail of Blades, typically what's going to be taken on these marksman supports. Poome walks up far enough to see the skill shots flying through the brushes, knows he doesn't want anything to do with that. And of course, with Caitlyn and Lux, you want to be able to control those brushes early, control that lane push, and exactly what you guys were talking about, let DoubleLift run the show early on here in bottom lane.
Absolutely. I think 100 Thieves has a very clear game plan. I really want to see them stick to it. Just try to punish CLG's bot lane as much as possible. And CLG, they're not picking a scaling bot lane. So I imagine we're going to see a lot of 3v3s, or maybe even more than that, depending on who else is able to come bottom. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was actually hoping for a super aggressive 100 Thieves level 1 when you have Lux as well as Olaf. You could have a super strong level 1 invade, something like that, but looks like they're just going to retake on their red side. That was warded by CLG during the bottom side move for them, so they will have vision of Closer start here on Raptors and know he's starting top triangle.
Yep. I don't think the jungle start matters too much in this kind of game. I think both teams are going to be playing around bot, like we've been talking about, and I like how they use their stronger level 1 to just establish that bot lane control, get the vision in the bush, because that helps a ton in these matchups.
Luger and Poome putting a little bit of damage on DoubleLift here at level 1, not shying away from the PvP as early as it might show up. Kobe, you said, yes, they're starting off in those top triangles there for both of our junglers. DoubleLift continuing to take auto attack damage from Luger and Poome as Poome deploys the barrier to prevent the follow-up trade from Busio and DoubleLift as he has to fall back.
That's always when this Varus looks the best as support. Walk up with these aggressive Hail of Blades trades. Just use your barrier super early on. Cooldown will come back up.
Oh! Flash from Busio for the binding, but they turn it around. It's going to be a trade so far, but now it's AD carry versus support, and Busio's got a whole lot of spears in him. It's a 2-for-1 trade, and CLG comes out on top.
Wow, a nice start by 100 Thieves. They got that level 2 first. They got the push, flashed in, that was great. But, CLG responded really well. They got level 2 as well, and it actually ended up going really well for them, getting 2 kills over on Luger.
Yes, 2 AD carries, greater than 1. Let's take a look at the flash initiation here to start it all out. Busio, few flashes, they get him. DoubleLift does get off the trap into headshot and immediately flash away, but Luger already, as soon as he saw that movement, he starts hopping forward, so there's no escape. Really good job by Luger, taking the aggressive look here, and CLG, both kills going to him as well. He's got a full Vamp Scepter by. That feels very scary for this 100 Thieves bottom lane that you're talking about, Meteos. So much of their game plan kind of revolving around.
Right, and I think a lot of the time on those kill trades, it kind of depends like how the wave is set up. I didn't get a super close look at who it was better for, but I don't think the lane's going to be completely decided for anyone just yet. But this gank might decide it.
Contractz might have something to say about that decision as Luger's going to get his 3rd kill of the game. Make it his 4th kill of the game, and 100 Thieves bottom lane. The screens are all gray.
Wow, so you know, I'm a little bit surprised by Closer's decision to go for crap there rather than hovering because, you know, obviously most plays you can come back to be like, oh, jungle should have been there. But in this instance, all summoners were burned in an all-in, and your wave is pushing out, right? There is no better time to look bottom than this.
Yeah, that's why as soon as you see the Sejuani creeping in, you know this is going to be a flash initiation. Busio used his flash in the last play that we saw offensively. And so Contractz goes in, Luger then immediately flashes for the follow-up. But they actually get DoubleLift too here, which is the crazier part.
I did not expect DoubleLift to go down there. That was really well played by CLG. Great gank by Contractz waiting in the bush.
Yeah, and really good skill shots from both Luger and Poome. They both hit their Qs. Without that, they would not be able to take down the 2nd kill.
And now, up top side, the 2v2 action continues. Contractz recognizing that this is going to be a good spot for Closer to potentially gank. He's going to cut him off there, win out in the trade against him. Back in mid, Bjergsen bringing the pain to Palafox here nice and early. Forces the flash.
Yep, that's good. It's what you like to see. Palafox picked a scaling champ, and Bjergsen's able to punish him, you know, get his flash early. Hopefully they can capitalize on that. Maybe get a re-gank or something like that.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was hoping for when we saw this, you know, draft, and we're talking about flash initiations from Bjergsen, especially as you're getting towards level 6. So Bjergsen, really good job blowing flash off Aurelion Sol pre-6. When Gragas gets 6 and you have flash, Palafox has to play so incredibly safe. Really going to be dangerous for him. So maybe a little change in game plan here for 100 Thieves. Call Closer, see if you can get some money off of that mid lane first.
Right, I think you absolutely have to pivot with bot lane going the way it did early. You know, your game plan with Caitlyn should be playing to the lane, but obviously it's so doomed at this point. I think what they can look for is maybe like have Lux go mid with Lee Sin, maybe even Olaf, kill Aurelion Sol, and then once Bjergsen has prio, once he's got an advantage mid, he can come bot and help you out.
Bjergsen's got to go back right now, however. Completely out of mana, still has the teleport ready, so he'll be able to return to lane almost instantaneously. Up top side, Tenacity has a pretty impressive lead in farm over his opponent in Dhokla, but that is what you would expect early with the Olaf versus Sion matchup. Of course, Dhokla will still be able to scale into being incredibly relevant thanks to Sion's passive with the Soul Furnace, so he's happy to just keep on farming it out up there. You can see the farm even in mid lane. Bottom lane, of course, still the advantage for Luger as he and Poome have been in control of this matchup, and Contractz is once again looking to stop by and see if he might be able to make anything happen, or at least stop Closer from doing the opposite. Closer's going to walk up here. Contractz is waiting for him. Bjergsen's right behind Closer, however, so 100 Thieves are still confident to see if they can make CLG stick around for this. Busio throws out the binding. Yes, it hits Contractz, but not until he's already dashed away to safety.
Honestly, really good defense here from CLG because that buys time as Bjergsen spends his roam timer to go halfway down the river. Palafox on the ASO, who should be the point that's being attacked, gets a free wave clear. He pushes out the wave and gets to go recall. So that's pretty good news, even though that didn't look like a lot. Really good little bit of defense there from CLG.
Right, I don't dislike the play by 100 Thieves here. I think that, you know, using Gragas' prio, like his one timer to come down and clear the vision, make sure your bot lane's not going to get dove on that stacked wave. It's still good. It's not really going to get you an advantage, but it might slow down the snowball that CLG is trying to do.
Well, the quick replay that we did have there just showed DoubleLift fat fingering the cleanse, so not going to have that one for a couple of minutes. We will see if CLG can punish that or if it ends up not really mattering a whole lot. Closer wanted to take the Sonic Wave there to get in range of the crab, potentially bite Contractz for that one, but Contractz can secure it without Closer being able to move in and say a whole lot about it. Mid laners still just back and forth farming, dead even between the two of them. And when things are going even in mid lane, Aurelion Sol is always happy.
Wow, looking at this jungle XP, that is not what Closer likes to see. Sejuani is going to hit 6 off of blue here, and Closer's still level 4.
And if you layer on top of that, Riftchild is about to spawn, and CLG also have a pushing bottom lane. This feels so easy for CLG to just run the neutral objectives, rotate on up. They don't even have to full recall here. Contractz can instantly start.
Right, I'm interested to see what 100 Thieves decides to do here. I think they actually have an option of fighting this with Olaf because the champion is just so strong at this point in time, especially against champs who don't necessarily do a lot of damage like Sejuani Sion.
Yeah, bottom lane, they sent half of it up for CLG though, so might have to just abandon that one for 100 Thieves, and that's gonna be some more pushing power for them as well. Contractz can bring the Rift Trail down, still has that Sejuani ult you're talking about, and flash ready.
And important small note, Palafox is the one who got the killing blow on the Herald, and remember that it is worth a couple hundred gold now. So they're doing all these little things to just try and make sure they're putting the gold exactly where they need it. All 4 kills are on their carry and bot side. The extra money from killing the Herald is on that Aurelion Sol, that hyperscaler in the mid lane. Things are looking good in the first 9 minutes for CLG, who are about 1,500 gold ahead.
Definitely a good spot to be in if you're CLG. It looks like A-Sol's flash is almost back up here, so 100 Thieves not really able to find a winner to capitalize on that burn summoner.
Unless they can do it right now. Closer does have level 6. Palafox has 36 seconds before the flash comes back up. So if it happens, it's got to happen real soon. Closer's still looking for it. Palafox staying as far away as he can to clear away this control ward. Doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of anything out of it.
Yep, I like the respect Palafox is showing here. He recognizes they obviously timed his flash. They are running out of time to punish it, so they're probably looking there. And he was right, they were.
Man, it is looking like a pretty rough weekend for 100 Thieves, even just with the start of this game, because CLG off of the bottom snowball, also getting Dragon. They don't give up any neutral objectives so far, winning the lanes as well.
Yeah, this is absolutely not what you want to see as a 100 Thieves fan. They're down over a full level on bot lane. It's very much not where you want to be with Caitlyn.
Yeah, DoubleLift having to farm with Piltover Peacemaker in a 2v1 against Luger does not feel very good for these guys. And once again, we're going to see Contractz looking for something if he would get the opportunity. Mostly just shadowing here, making sure that Closer's not coming down to gank them, because it is CLG that has the massive wave pushing up and getting ready to crash into the turret of 100 Thieves. Aurelion Sol, still farming underneath his own turret with Bjergsen and Closer heading bottom. It's Poome and Luger who are just going to shove this wave up and get the hell out of town.
CLG did see this. They have vision. And this is one of those things that, Lee Sin hasn't been super meta for a while, but he's one of the junglers who doesn't buy Sweeper because, he wants to use his ward for ward hop. So he's just walking over vision, spotted, feels bad, man. None of his plays are going to work while they know where you are.
Oh, Poome goes in with a Chains of Corruption. DoubleLift does have his cleanse back up in time to get away from it. And they have to use Luger's ulti to save Poome there. A nice binding from Busio. Gonna make it so that ulti is down. Maybe there will be an opportunity now for 100 Thieves to try to find something against CLG's bottom side. Tenacity just walking away from Contractz up here in the top lane. There goes Ace in the hole, blocked by Luger, just to make sure Poome's not critically low.
It was a good thing DoubleLift was warming up his cleanse key previously.
Yes,
we
was
saw on the
prepared.
replay. He was quick on this one.
That actually ended up being a better cooldown trade.
Yeah.
100 Thieves there. They got the Kalista ult, which is a super, super long cooldown early game. And, Varus' ult and cleanse. So maybe they'll have an opportunity to do something, but I think right now they just need time.
Yeah. Biggest difficulty is, even if they make a play off it, there's no objectives to take too, so.
Right.
But bounty on Kalista is your dream scenario, I guess. If they can get priority mid, maybe bring down Gragas for a four-person play.
So you're talking about priority. I think one of the priorities CLG needs to have right now is deploying this Rift Herald. They are down to very, very little time left to use this thing. They got about 30 seconds to drop it. So you can't really force an ideal situation. You just got to use the thing. Palafox gonna be knocked over towards where Closer was waiting, but Contractz was ready. He's been doing a great job so far this game, reading where Closer wants to be and making sure he's there to guarantee that his guys don't get punished.
This is a really good macro play by CLG. They recognize that they don't necessarily have mid prio, and so to drop the Herald bottom, if you don't want Gragas running down and killing you, you should just hover mid, let Palafox push, and now you have a window to drop the Herald where you're not gonna get outnumbered.
And there we go. Shelly should just be getting these 2 plates. There it is. Hey, at least they get the value. That's what I was worried about. As long as it doesn't expire in the inventory or have to walk 300,000 miles down mid and get killed for nothing. So CLG are going to get their guaranteed expected outcome of that Herald.
Yeah, miles.
That's a lot of miles.
While the CLG bottom lane is for sure the star of the show, well, hold on.
That was an all-in from Tenacity. He flashes behind the Sion, goes into the Ragnarok, uses both summoner spells there, and Dhokla responds with a flash of his own and an ulti to disengage it, so Tenacity won't get what he was looking for.
top lane, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy, but mid lane's the story instead. Closer with a disengaged kick. Busio's coming up to give themselves a numbers advantage, but Closer flashes away to escape the Sejuani ulti. Busio now having to flash out to get away from the counter ulti of Varus as Poome rotates up. Palafox maintains control over the mid lane. Both sides throwing out a couple of weapons, a couple of ultis here. Nobody getting a whole lot.
It's going to be very hard for 100 Thieves to win fights just trying to get a pick because, like I mentioned in draft, they don't have a whole lot of lockdown in their comp. Like Lee Sin, Olaf, Gragas has some CC, but it's not very reliable. It's not like, you know, a Vi ulti where you just point, click, lock down entirely. They don't have a lot of things to set up their follow-up CC. So I think they're really going to be hoping that CLG just overextends here or gives them something.
Ooh, CLG picking up that first turret of the game. 5 seconds before the plates would have fallen means they get the entirety of the possible value of that tier 1 turret bottom lane. Almost a 3,000 gold lead here 14 minutes into the game. Remember, they claimed first Herald, they claimed the first Drake, the second Drake about to spawn here in 25 seconds, but Closer's got his eyes on the other side of the map. Dhokla does not have his ulti ready to go again. The Olaf ulti, however, is ready. Ragnarok has been used. There comes the damage from Sion to try to take him with him as you've got Palafox wanting to join in. Dhokla's dead body just tears Tenacity apart, and it's a double kill for a dead man. CLG gets the better of him.
He got stronger when he died. he was a zombie forever.
What a champion.
Wow. And, you know, great play by... I was going to say it was a really good play by 100 Thieves, setting that up, getting the kill on Dhokla. You know, they blew his flash before, good follow-up gank. But Palafox having that TP advantage, great counter ganks. And, you know, when you're on the scaling mid, being able to show up for a play like that and swing it, which, you know, it would have been a 1 for 0, but now it's a 1 for 2 in CLG's favor.
Big Dokes with the expert passive usage here on Sion on full display. CLG, they're not done.
Busio gets caught by the chains of corruption. Poome has his number, and they set it up for Luger yet again. The perfect AD carry score. No deaths, no assists,
get him,
all kills. Bjergsen wants to go after the dragon, but good lord, man, he's just getting melted by the dragon breath. This looks real bad. Bjergsen tries to get away. The big man belly flop gets him out for now, but here come the skies, and they descend on Bjergsen's health bar, baby. Palafox getting kill number 1.
Wow, almost the exact same situation. 100 Thieves just trying to make a, you know, spur of the moment play, but CLG's ready for it. They have those TPs, they have the resources. They're saying, you know, what is this guy doing? He's trying to go on me, just TP, kill him. So, you know, I think 100 Thieves definitely probably not playing their best macro game here, maybe feeling a little bit desperate, and definitely getting punished for it.
It's like a buddy cop movie. It's great. Palafox has Dhokla's back, and then Dhokla's got his back, teleporting in to save.
100 Thieves are just aiming for the bushes.
Yeah, unfortunately, there goes my hero.
100 Thieves are the extras in the movie. You can't hit shots right now. It's actually looking very, very sad. They did snag away the dragon, though.
That's something. So at least CLG is not on a 2-0 dragon advantage, but unfortunately for 100 Thieves, it is a 5,000 gold deficit 16 minutes into the game. They have to stabilize, and they have to do it yesterday if they want to have any chance going forward here.
It's just such a rough situation to be in because you don't even outscale with these comps. You know, CLG has great scaling on their team. They've got Sion, just this massive front line, and on 100 Thieves, who's going to kill him?
Yeah.
You've got Caitlyn, who's going to take like 4 items to be able to do anything to him. So I would not want to be in 100 Thieves' shoes right now.
And your only AP threat is really the Gragas. I mean, that's not going to be a consistent DPS, you know, anything towards a Sion. He's fine. He's just going to stack this armor the entire time and feel great against Olaf and Lee and Caitlyn and everybody who will be hitting him. DoubleLift does have his Bloodthirster. This has become very popular first item for AD carries. The shield from the item combined with the overheal shield creates just this extra 1,000 HP wall on an AD carry health bar.
I'm not feeling great about those.
Might be able to protect him.
Oh my, don't even get me started. But so one thing that 100 Thieves could look for now is, you know, obviously those 2 plays before where they got TP'd on were pretty tragic for them, but they do have TP advantage now. You know, Bjergsen has his teleport available and CLG does not have either of theirs. So they could look to try to make some outnumbered play, but it might be hard.
Ooh, Bjergsen's gonna be caught out by Contractz here. They're just gonna chain CC, and Bjergsen, what the hell are you doing there? Of all the places on Summoner's Rift you could have been.
He's going for a quick nap.
Okay, yeah, a dirt nap.
He got a little bit too much to drink.
He's going back to the fountain to take a bath as well. He's got to wash it off. Oh my goodness. CLG just look uncontested.
And Poome's just throwing out another chains of corruption on this Varus, landing these over and over again to constantly provide some threat. They're not going to get a kill from it, but it opens up enough time. They force down the tier 2 turret in mid lane. Now the Palafox is already working on the tier 2 turret in bottom lane. 100 Thieves have no turrets for themselves yet. Tenacity working on remedying that here in the top lane. Dhokla wants to make it back here in time to shut that down and should be able to clear out this wave in time. There he goes. So still, only objective the entire game for 100 Thieves has been that one Drake they secured.
Not a perfect game. Boom.
It's not a perfect game, you're right. Honestly, if I was only going to get one dragon, I think Mountain might be the one I would want. It's such a strong dragon, just stat-wise.
Yeah, and they're going to need that survivability because, you know, these guys don't really have the same front line that their opponents do either. You were talking about the scaling differences, how good scaling is on CLG. Olaf and Lee Sin are very much fighters. They're not going to become brick walls. And let's see if Dhokla can lock down Tenacity any longer here. No, Palafox started flying at him, but he couldn't quite catch him.
That trade wasn't close at all.
No, that was abusive. Goodbye, Olaf. It's time for you to walk away, buddy. Dhokla and Palafox are just ready to knock this sucker down. I don't really think 100 Thieves is doing a whole lot to stop it when Luger shows up to provide the DPS. That is now the 5th turret of the game, claimed by CLG. There comes the meteor from Palafox, but they don't quite have enough damage to take out anybody on 100. They do, however, have an 8,000 gold lead, and 100 Thieves feel completely suffocated.
Yeah, as much as it is painful to look at it from the 100 Thieves point of view, CLG are doing such a good job moving this game state forward constantly. They're not wasting any time. They move from objective to objective, bully down these towers. They get a pick off someone on 100 Thieves. They kill another tower. They are basically wiping the map clean.
It's very true. It's great to see, you know, CLG, they've been a little back and forth this split, but this is a great game for them. I love how they're just using every single wave. They're not giving 100 Thieves any time. They're just always pressuring together and just absolutely choking.
On spawn Baron.
20-minute Baron. As soon as it shows up, they're ready to go for it. But 100 Thieves recognize what's going on. They're ready to answer. CLG does not want to throw away what they've built for the past 20 minutes on some sort of a YOLO 50-50 Baron, so they back away.
Yeah, that was just a little test. We've been able to get everything we've tried in this game so far. We'll test on Baron. Okay, fine.
Yeah, that one was maybe a little bit optimistic. At the same time, though, they don't really lose anything for trying it. Sion can tank Baron forever, probably, and Kalista's good secure, so I think that just maybe gets in 100 Thieves' head. It's just like, look, like, we could be Baroning at any moment, and then that puts a lot of pressure on 100 Thieves to just constantly have vision control in their jungle and on Baron.
100 Thieves recognizing that CLG probably wants to go for the dragon, so they try to secure the last little bit of HP on this tier 1 turret in the top lane. Objective bounties are up and running, so it would give them a nice injection of gold, but CLG recognizes, hey, all we got to do is send Palafox up here. He'll clear the wave. He'll make it so they can't grab this, and now he and Poome are going to be the ones who, again, have to clear it out. Tenacity wants to escort the wave up, but there goes the Singularity. There goes the Dragon's Breath. Tenacity really wanted to just walk up and hit that thing, but it's not happening.
Where did those minions go?
I love how
can you miss it?
I love how Poome also is waiting there too until Olaf gets right up to the tower. Then they kill all the minions and give him a couple tower shots on the way out.
Yeah, I really like how Poome's been playing this Varus. He's doing a really good job playing with vision, just staying just out of sight and looking for these ulti angles. He's been getting a ton of picks off of it.
Yeah, he's found Busio a bunch of times, been able to follow up on others as well. All right, next order of business then is putting some real threat on that Baron, clearing out the vision and really making 100 Thieves sweat, because CLG are that far ahead already that they can just bully their way into this jungle. The only thing they're missing right now is a little rotation from mid from Luger, and here he comes.
Poome once again just trying to wait around the corners of this terrain like you were talking about, Meteos. He doesn't need to walk into a bush. He doesn't need to be grouped up with everybody else. Just slightly out of range, standing in fog.
This is really weird.
Yeah, this is a bit strange. Aurelion Sol does do absolutely insane damage to Baron with his Breath of Light, so CLG might just be able to use Dhokla as a distraction and go after this. All right, it's getting a little haphazard here. Palafox coming around from the side. They throw down the damage. Wombo combo. Bjergsen's at 10% HP. He tries to get back away, but they're falling in from the side, and they're all falling down on 100 Thieves. Bjergsen's the only one to hit the dirt, but Busio, Closer, and Tenacity are all below half HP. CLG heads right back over to Baron, and 100 Thieves is stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I think, you know, that was a pretty decent play by CLG. They did use the big Aurelion Sol. 100 Thieves might have a a small window to look for a play, but it's pretty doomed.
Shoot him, Poome. Shoot him. There we go.
The only play they could look for, though, maybe mid-tower objective bounty shutdown. And CLG definitely will secure Baron. They do get the tower. There's a little bit of money for your troubles, but the rest of the team is just dead.
Yeah, if you're asking me would I like to trade my mid lane tier 1 turret for a Baron and an enemy inhibitor turret, I'll say yes every single time. And that's exactly what CLG got. They're wearing purple on everybody. They haven't had to sacrifice a man just yet, but Contractz may be caught here. 100 Thieves just throwing everything at him to clean up this jungler, and they should be able to find it. There it is. Tenacity will take the kill on that one. So 100 Thieves will at least not have to face the full brunt of CLG for the next 35 seconds. Aurelion Sol just does this to buffs. You just stand there and you take them.
Tenacity sitting at a comfortable 2-1-0 KDA for the weekend.
Oh no, you're
Positive
right.
KDs. Team diff.
The best part is, you guys can't see it because you don't have the camera on us right now. He said that entire sentence with a straight face. Just absolute
You gotta look.
seriousness.
You gotta look for the silver linings, Flowers. This weekend has been a giant
It's been tough.
storm cloud for 100 Thieves. Honestly, maybe it's like a guest caster curse because we had Spica for the last one too. And then we had Spica for this one.
So whenever there's guests, 100 Thieves just...
This is the point in the game where we got to come up with conspiracy theories.
Okay, I got you.
Okay,
I got
okay.
you.
All right.
So Spica has a curse on Bjergsen and DoubleLift, former teammate.
Yeah.
In sleep, and I have a curse on 100 Thieves.
Oh,
my.
double curse.
I don't think they had much of a shot this weekend.
The week of revenge on 100 Thieves.
All right, so there's some sort of an evil hex here on 100 Thieves as they try to defend against a 9,500 gold deficit 25 minutes into the game. Everybody not named Contractz still has the Baron, so CLG are just grouped up trying to push down mid here. They do not have pressure in either side right now. Both of those waves are still pretty far away, so 100 Thieves is just very focused on defending this mid lane.
CLG seems a little bit stumped as far as how to actually break the base, or maybe not.
Maybe they're just gonna hard force it like this. They get the ulti out of the Olaf. So Tenacity knows he's got to try to do something here. Dhokla is stuck on the front. They might just be able to kill the Sion. They get him. Nicely done. 100 Thieves defending against the CLG Baron.
I do think the initiation, like half-heart on an Olaf, is probably the worst way to go about it, though.
Right, I think that CLG is actually getting a little bit stumped as far as how to actually get into the base, because sieging against Caitlyn's really tough. She's got a line of traps through the entire range your carries want to be standing at to hit the tower.
Yeah.
I think what they could do is probably just have Sion sit behind mid and just ult into the turret. The ulti damage plus the demolish afterwards is going to be enough to break the turret and shrug off all the damage. So I think maybe if they focus more on the turret, less on actually trying to kill the champions by it, they could have done it.
Yeah, that sounds like a much better plan, because then you can also get back up in your passive as they're taking, damage into the Sion. Everybody finishes it off. 100 Thieves, they're happy to get a little bit of breathing room, though. Another objective bounty here for Tenacity.
Been destroyed.
Is the little spark of hope growing
His
inside of
KK
you?
is skyrocketing.
Nice.
It
It's going
is.
up and up.
Yup.
2-1-1 on the Olaf. The best KDA on the team. 8,500 gold lead. Still what it's looking like for CLG, though, as they're going to start up their third Drake of the game. This would be a Dragon Soul if Tenacity and 100 Thieves had not managed to grab that other one earlier on. So, hey, at least you got 5 more minutes before CLG hits that power spike. Baron's not going to be alive for another 3 minutes, and I feel like with the struggles that CLG was having breaking into the base with Baron, it's going to be very difficult to try to do anything without.
All right, the fun game of updating Stardust on Aurelion Sol.
What are we at?
The execution threshold on Singularity is up to 13.4%. And the
2/3 of an Elder Dragon.
Yeah. And the Q, remember, is doing a little bit over 10% of max health damage as well, if you can channel it for a second. So
What is his total Stardust count? Because I know that 10 per minute is the goal.
332.
Okay, he's way past. All right.
I think that's also like kind of a lazy man's goal, the 10 per minute. So if you're a real Aurelion Sol main, then you want to overshoot that.
Okay. Well, right now he's feeling very comfortable about it. CLG is feeling great about their current state of the game. Sion is scaling infinitely. Aurelion Sol is scaling infinitely. Luger has 3 items completed on the Kalista, including the Bloodthirster and the Immortal Shield Bow. Closer flashed, but Contractz had the aim to chase him through it. And with Poome doing the damage, they're going to finish off the 100 Thieves jungler 5v4 for the next 35 seconds.
Did we catch who got the Raptors? I'm trying to weigh if that was worth it or not. I couldn't see if Closer got him or not.
Each Raptor must be individually accounted for as well.
Well, if each Raptor's worth about 2,000 gold, then it's worthwhile. Otherwise, might be a little tricky here for 100 Thieves. Tenacity pops the Ragnarok. He's ready to fight Dhokla.
The KDA.
Dhokla's just walking away. All right, now he re-engages. Tenacity has run out of Ragnarok, and the Dragon is ready to chase him. The Ghost is going to give Tenacity a little bit of time to run away. Top lane inhibitor fell while we're watching this, but this is more interesting. Palafox is on a rampage. Olaf's dead.
Wow, so 100 Thieves is actually doing a pretty good job stalling out the game. You know, for the past 5 minutes, kind of since the Baron went down, they didn't lose a whole lot, but that was just 2 back-to-back mistakes they made. You know, getting caught at Raptors, getting caught bot lane, doing a really weird all-in. Yeah, not really a lot of reason for those plays.
Yeah, feels like CLG are set to win this one by default unless some crazy test of fate happens. Some turn. Honestly,
I don't even think that does it, man.
Yeah.
I don't think that does it.
well, there's some big bounties on champions as well as the objective bounties. So if they can get some of those lazy like surprise kills, if CLG you know, do kind of leave themselves open, then maybe there is that pathway back in, but it certainly looks to be doomed.
I think unless DoubleLift gets a pentakill every bounty, there's not.
All right,
hope.
let's set it then.
All right, that's the mark. DoubleLift has to pentakill, collect every bounty at the same time, and then purchase his entire full build with the money that he would receive from doing so. Dhokla charging up that big decimating smash there, but now just walks it on off. Tenacity gonna lead the charge forward as 100 Thieves recognizes Baron is up. They do not want to allow CLG to take it. They're gonna grab their own red buff here for DoubleLift, just try to give him as much firepower as possible. Contractz maintaining aggro on the Baron. It's still at about half HP. Tenacity and Closer still trying to push forward, gain every inch of ground they can. Dhokla on the front line. A lot of damage being done to Tenacity. He's using the stasis, trying to stay alive here in the very front. Busio is burning down. Dhokla's already killed Tenacity. Busio runs, and Closer's getting beat. It's Bjergsen already gone first, and 3 of the 100 Thieves are already dead. Busio burns away. A double kill for Palafox. Baron be damned, the game is over, and CLG's gonna take it.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. You know, they tried. The Bjergsen went for the flash combo on Aurelion Sol, did about 30% of his health, not quite enough, and yeah, CLG's gonna take it. Pretty impressive game by CLG, all things said. You know,
Incredible.
Starting from the bot lane, they just won the 2v2 really hard. Great gank right after it, and they just played with their advantage well.
Luger and Poome, massive performance from them. I also think Contractz, even though it is a lot easier to play jungle when you have a winning, you know, lane setup like this, he did a really good job hovering, denying all of these 100 Thieves plays that they were trying to set up to get back into the game. On the Sejuani, it's not a glorious position to be in, but he did it quite well.
And the desk was talking about it before this game, saying how both of these teams are kind of in that melee of 3 or 4 different teams right around the cutoff for playoffs, around that 6th, 7th, 8th type of a spot. It's a pretty big deal for CLG. They're going up to 7-6 with this win. 100 Thieves, unfortunately, sitting on 5 and 8. Pretty rough score with only a couple weeks left to play to try to make it into playoffs. CLG are happy with this one.
Great game from CLG all around. They should definitely be happy about that.
DeMonte's loving it. Look at the grin, man. He's loving this.
Yeah, it's all smiles and laughs in the CLG camp. Definitely not going to be that in the 100 Thieves camp after this weekend. Tons to review and tons to change.
It's just such a rough situation to be in. You know, it seems